After the first gig, they let me go. One of the reasons why, I guess this was the major reason, the guys said.
You pepper sprayed everybody in the audience.
It's time to get wild.
That was wild. Welcome to That Was Wild. I'm Ad Macias, and this episode is going to be wild. This is the show where I talk to my wildly funny friends about the wild things happening in the world, the wild lives they lead, and we try to have a wild time while doing it. My name is Ad Macias. Again, I'm a comedian who loves wild stories, and I've gone viral on the internet a few times, but that's not important because so has this man, my guest today. He's an actor, comedian, and a host of the Weird AF podcast. It's Jonesy, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, Adam. Thank you for having me over. I really appreciate your enthusiasm.
Yes.
And what I would call gusto.
Yeah, I got some gusto. That's what I've heard.
You definitely got gusto.
Gusto of wind coming out of my mouth to make it very loud. Yes.
Do your listeners make comments how like the more excited you get, the more bouncy your hair gets?
No, I think not yet. I think we do need like some sort of count where my head is moving
like
around.
The bouncier your hair is, the more excited you are, and the better the episode's going to be.
Can I tell you something that I've never been a long hair guy. Actually, I've been a short hair, a crew cut sort of guy most of my life. But then once I started doing like wild, I was like, my hair should reflect that. So I got some wild hair. So
yeah.
And I was, that said, you do not have weird hair. You have normal hair, but you have a show about weird news.
Yeah, Weird AF News is what it's called. It's a podcast I've been doing for probably like 7 years now.
That is so awesome.
It's a 5-day-a-week news podcast. Monday through Thursday, I do weird news from around the world, but on Friday, I only do weird news from Florida.
Florida Friday,
yeah. And we're at over 1,700 episodes now. It's a long, long journey.
Yeah.
And it's been a lot of weird news covered.
Well, so in order to be an expert on weird news, did you go to weird school of journalism at all?
No, you would think, right? And it's funny you said that because I'd never really considered myself an expert on weird news, but I suppose I am the premier expert after this many episodes.
Yeah, that kind of makes you an expert.
I guess it does make me an expert on weird news.
You're a weird journalist.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's some funding for this position too. Maybe some college would have me teach a course.
Yeah, you can go to School of Journalism at Columbia or something like that.
And just be like, I'm the weird news guy.
You should do a Florida man journalism class in like Florida U.
That's great. Because then I could get into the history of the Florida man and all of this. And I play some of my episodes. It would be good to spread the podcast, of course.
There you go. Yeah.
Every homework assignment would involve
listening to the
podcast. If you could listen to the podcast, and also extra credit if you share it.
Let me tell you right now, I guarantee you that is probably a lot of teachers' thing of being like, extra credit, listen to my podcast.
Yeah, listen to my podcast. Buy my book.
That's the equivalent for the academics. But that's so cool. So you've been doing that show for so long. What's kind of started you on that path?
I submitted to host a daily podcast on a brand new platform that had come out. It was called Anchor. Some people might remember this. It was one of the first podcast platforms where you could record on your phone.
Yes, and it's owned by Spotify now.
It was eventually bought by Spotify. Correct.
Yeah.
And one of the
this show is hosted by Anchor. Hold on, just going to make sure the clear plug happens there. All right, we're good. Yeah, okay.
Hold on. My show's hosted by Anchor.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
Shout out to Anchor.
Shout out to Anchor for that free hosting.
Yeah, well, when Anchor first was created, they didn't have a lot of users on it, and so a buddy of mine worked there, and he reached out to me and he said, "Hey, we're looking for like comedians and personalities to do a daily show on the thing, and we'll pay you a monthly fee to do a daily news show of some sort.
Cool.
Here are your choices.
Yeah.
Sports, technology, entertainment, finance, world news, U.S. news.
Yeah.
These were there was 8 categories. I couldn't do any of them except for sports. Like I know sports. I go, I'd like to do the sports one. He said, "Oh, that's the one I'm doing." I said, "Shit, man.
Can we do it together?"
I didn't even think to ask that. I said, "I don't like these other. I can't talk about entertainment news. Like, I
Yeah.
want to talk about Kardashians 7 days a week.
Yeah.
I just want to kill myself. I know nothing about tech or finance. I'm pretty stupid in most areas. And so he said, any other ideas? I go, wow, what if I do weird news? And he goes, well, why don't you cut something up and send it to me and I'll show it to the team.
That's rad.
So I just recorded like 3 or 4 little news stories. I didn't know what to do. So I'm like, maybe I'll just read it and then I'll comment on it and try and crack jokes about it. So
There you
which
go.
is exactly what I did.
Yeah.
I improv'd and pieced this stupid little thing together and sent it over. They loved it. And they go, yeah, you're doing weird news. And what do you want to call it? I was like, Weird AF News? Okay.
That's awesome.
And they just had me on there. And then I did that for them for about, 10 months. And then they said, okay, look, we got enough users on the platform now, even some famous people. So we're going to let you guys, we can't pay you guys anymore to do this. To this, we want to thank you for helping get us off.
You helped grow.
Helped grow. And then they said, hey, but if you want to hold on to your show, it's yours.
Oh, okay.
And my show was the most popular of all of the ones that were being done.
That's awesome.
Yeah, people were loving my show the most. I mean, I was getting more shares, more downloads. People were emailing me, commenting on it. They thought that it just was a lot of fun. I had no idea it would be such a good idea, but yes, people were into it. And so I thought, you know what, I'll keep doing it and I'll figure out a way to monetize it. And so I started a Patreon.
There you go.
Now eventually I got advertisers over the years, and they come and go. And so I've been able to make some money at it.
That's amazing.
And keep it going for over 1,700 episodes and many years.
Just a backstory. I'm not sure if you're aware. So I did a TikTok channel where we would talk about headline jokes and weird stuff. I would personally go out of my way to find the wildest, craziest shit. And for example, I'm get a Google News alert for boobs. Anytime boobs is mentioned.
Oh, you set up news alerts for that?
For just to
That's pretty cool.
Just to see if if there's a funny story about boobs. Because I remember one time, one of the biggest viral videos I did was just because of somebody said boobs in the headline. I was like, okay, cool. That's good to know. Kids on the internet want that shit. So anyways, all that to say, there's been a lot of the same jokes over and over. So because I've I can't imagine how many stories you've done at this point. So what do you do to break up the kind of monotony of the crazy stuff, or do you find yourself continually fascinated about it all?
Thankfully, I am continually fascinated because the world seems to be getting stranger and stranger.
That's true. Yes.
I don't know if
it's only getting weirder or wilder and weirder. Yeah.
I believe that it is. I'm kind of biased to this. Maybe that's what's going on in my. But to me, it seems like it's getting weirder and weirder.
Yeah.
And so the stories, I'm trying not to do repeat weird themes and weird stuff. It's like once you do a woman cuts off her boyfriend's penis for cheating.
Yeah.
Maybe I did 3 stories over the years of a lady cutting off her lover's penis. Now, if I see one, I'm not even going to do it anymore.
Yeah.
It's just been done.
It's old news.
It's totally
old weird news.
It's totally old. It's old weird news. It's been done. There's a lot like that. There's a lot like that.
Totally.
And so you just you can drop those.
Yeah.
Anything that seems similar.
Yeah.
And then I find it, the deeper I go, the more rewarding it is for the listeners. I want the weirdest thing that I can find. I want the weirdest, there's a country called Sierra Leone.
Mm-hmm.
They make a drug. They're addicted to, there's this whole underground drug addicted culture there. And the drug is made out of, one of the ingredients is human bones. They crush up human bones. So now it's led to all these grave robberies, and the police have to put cops in the cemeteries at night.
Holy
shit.
shit.
Is just so this is very strange.
Yes.
And it's a one of a kind, very unique. But I'm genuinely curious about that.
Yeah.
You make this drug out of human bones. You got cops in the cemeteries at night, arresting people for robbing graves.
So would you say that is your favorite kind of wild story or weird story you've done?
And there's been a lot of weird ones like that. Politicians saying outrageous things.
Yes.
I don't even do that anymore.
Oh,
because that's totally... Politicians are out of their minds. They're saying ridiculously weird things every day.
Especially considering the last 8-year cycle.
Yes.
A lot of weird shit has happened.
So I won't even say, if someone sends me an article or I see an article, it's like, politician says, blah, blah. I'm just like, nope, not this. I'm not going with them.
Yeah, I definitely tend to be like, oh, what did Trump say? Well, of course, Trump said that shit. But I do tend to be like, Lauren Boebert, you are legitimately crazy. Marjorie Taylor Greene. those you are insane
Yeah.
and like it's crazy that you have a platform. So I'm going to talk about that.
Yes.
And some people seem interested in it.
and you know, and I'll let the people who are covering politics like handle all that.
Yeah.
That's good fodder for them.
Yeah.
And for them, it's very weird. For my show, I don't believe it's weird enough anymore.
What's the criteria? Do you think if you had like is it more like the definition of pornography? Like, you when you see it, like that's worth your show, or is there certain like key things that it needs to hit to be on your show?
It's certainly hard to put words on it. It's more of a feeling that I get when if I'm excited to read it, then I know it's probably good.
That's good. Yeah.
Like if I'm curious, because I mean, I've lost a lot of my curiosity for odd stories now. Like it doesn't really grab me. So it needs to be like anything else. You need to push the limit of whatever it is you're into. You know what I mean? Even it's some people that are like sex addicts. It starts off with they can't even have one partner.
That's
they have
what
one
I'm saying.
partner, and then it goes on to now I need to be in threesomes, and now I need orgies
Yeah,
to
it
satisfy
seems
them.
like it's
So it gets
you get
like
this tolerance
yes,
level.
and they know it when they see it, like what they need to be doing, like
Yes,
what they want. You know? And
exactly.
so it's like that with me.
It's
with
how they started out with that bone drugs. Like they probably just only took like a little pinky toe. Now they're all the way to femurs.
Sure. And maybe they were just smoking the bones of plastic Halloween skeletons at first, and that wasn't enough. So they had to go like real bone.
It's like, yeah, gotta get that real shit.
It was just the bone in from the ribeye that they had, and then
Yeah.
they're like, wait a minute, what about human bones?
Yeah,
What
they're
are
gonna be
these?
smoking live chickens
Sure.
by next week. So before we get into some wild stories that we're going to talk about, because I've tried to curate the best for my man who's known for his weird shit. What did you do last night? Any wild stuff you're up to?
Not
last
wild,
night?
just a show in Long Beach. That's about it.
Okay.
The only thing wild about it is at a Chinese food restaurant. I guess that's kind of wild.
Oh shit! Wild. It was a
Yeah.
Chinese food restaurant.
Yeah,
Like,
Chinese food restaurant. It actually reminded me of like when I started stand up in Boston a long time ago. It's very common in New England to have comedy shows at Chinese food restaurants for some reason.
Wasn't like one of the like a legendary comedy
Yes,
spot?
that's right.
At a Chinese
Yep,
place.
in Cambridge,
Yeah.
in Harvard Square, the Hong Kong, whatever it was called.
Yeah, like Stephen Wright,
The
like
Ding Ho. Was it the Ding Ho?
that sounds more
I think it's
familiar.
the Ding Ho, yeah.
That's crazy.
And then they still to this day, there's you'll find shows at Chinese food
I
restaurants.
wonder why that
back
is.
there. I don't know, but growing up, I thought
Comedy clubs were Chinese restaurants.
yes, I thought
That's
like
so
oh,
funny.
this is where comedy happens too. So
It's like,
I was okay with it.
I want to go to comedy.
And let me tell you something. You have no idea how good it feels to do a comedy show and get paid in a poo-poo platter. That's like amazing. So doing a show in a place called Jade. They do shows on Monday nights
That's
down
cool.
in Long Beach, and
That's rad.
yeah, and so that reminded me of
Like
my
a childhood
my
memory.
roots.
Yeah.
It reminded me of my roots of comedy. Yeah. My first paid gig was at a Chinese food restaurant.
That's rad. How'd that go?
It went great. I was at that time I had hosted. You know, usually your first paid gig when you're a comic will be a hosting gig.
Oh, nice.
And
Okay.
then you're hoping to move up to feature and then to headliner, but
Headliner.
usually just host.
Just
And I
hosting.
was, I was a young, excited comic with a very high energy act. and
Nice.
It's good. It was good for hosting.
That's kind of how I feel. Like I feel
Yeah.
like I have host energy. Like I feel like you should everybody should be like, let me host their show. I'm a
Yeah.
great host.
Oh, that's good to know.
I'm like
I need hosts sometimes
Oh,
when
really?
I produce shows.
Dude.
And if you're the good host that you say you
I
are,
seriously
I'll
am
be
an-
hiring you.
Please, thank you.
Yes.
I'm not even. I'm
I
like
got
legitimately.
plenty of work for you,
Yeah.
bro. I got plenty of work for you.
Well, speaking of work, you were telling me that you used to be in a Red Hot Chili Peppers cover band
Yeah.
for a long time. For how long?
About 3 years in
Well-
New York City.
What was it called?
It was called Pepper Spray.
Pepper Spray.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I came up with the name.
Okay.
I actually got some pushback from a couple of the band members, but I stayed strong to Pepper Spray.
Typically, they're like a pun on like a song. Or
Usually they are.
Usually.
Yeah. And they were pitching those already, but I wanted to be more original than
Yes. Pepper
that.
Spray.
Pepper Spray.
That sounds like its own cool band name.
Yeah, and you know what was great about it was like after the first set we would pepper spray the crowd, and they loved that. I'm totally lying.
We did it for 8 years. We were a nuisance to New York.
We sold pepper spray bottles with our logo on it. It was like a really good merch. You know?
Actually, that is for New York. That's a great idea.
That is a great idea for New York.
Yeah.
Even LA these days.
That's true. That's true.
You could use the pepper spray. But
So-
yeah, we were pepper spray. We were my musicians were jazz trained musicians. They were unbelievable.
And you were a singer.
And I sang, yeah. Those musicians were phenomenal.
Did you
I've
guys-
been in a couple of I've dipped into other Chili Pepper cover bands since then.
Yeah.
Sometimes places people are looking for singers to fill in. I've never seen I've never worked with musicians that good playing Chili Pepper stuff. They've just killed it.
They
killed it.
The original musicians are astronomically amazing.
Yeah, they're totally amazing.
It's just true. So it makes sense. There's a lot of jazz. I can see the jazz stuff involved. It's wild that they are such good musicians, but like mostly known for putting socks on their dicks.
Yeah, they are.
Like, how do you get both of those people? That doesn't make any
Yeah, it's very
sense.
strange. I'm going to say drugs, probably. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Coltrane wasn't out here like being nude on stage.
No,
or nothing,
certainly
you know?
not. One of the downfalls too of having jazz musicians as the members of your Chili Pepper cover band, at least in my situation, it was they didn't move very much.
Oh, yeah.
They mostly
It's just focusing on the thing, right?
Yeah, they just did their thing. So that it required me to be very energetic and all over the place. I was
Nice.
all over the stage. I was the spectacle. A lot of front men are like that, but I had to do I was doing like some David Lee Roth shit.
Yeah,
man.
kicks up in the air.
I had to do all that. I had to get crazy up there to make up for them.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I find, because I used to do, went to music school and we did a lot of covers. We would do some like a cover band sort of thing. And I did find myself really, because we wanted to do, justice to the music. Like we would really fucking focus on it. And I would then go watch the real performers and they're going fucking nuts because it's just like natural to them to do it.
Yep.
They take it so much for granted. It's like, like you play like a guitar, like this, you want to hit it. There's so much reverence for another person's song sometimes.
Exactly.
Whereas you're just like fucking doing backflips and shit.
Yeah, I was going crazy up there. I had to make up for a lack of visual, stimulation.
Did you wear a wig?
No, never wore a wig, but
Okay.
used to dress up a bit.
Yeah.
Shirt off often.
Got to do it.
I would do that, but I'd be the only one doing any of that. They would wear. Honestly, my guitar player had like a scally cap on and like a polo shirt and just
focusing.
standing totally still, like
That is such. It's
pretty weird.
You know that's a great guitar player, though.
Oh yeah. He's had several jazz guitar albums.
Oh, really?
Solo. And he still plays back in New York and plays live. He's like incredible. Shout out to Eric DeVito.
Hey, any relation to Danny?
To Danny? No, I don't think so.
So shout out to Eric DeVito. Let us know if you're related.
But
But
he got some solo albums too, if you guys are into that.
so you moved to New York and then you went out to like one of the biggest Red Hot Chili Pepper bands, correct?
Yeah, I was looking for. I had gotten out of music for many years, and when I came out to LA, I thought, well, why don't I just see what kind of, I can sing still, so I sing very well. And so I thought maybe I'll look and see if I could get into a cover band. I auditioned for a Tool cover band.
Oh shit!
Yeah, didn't get it, but I was proud of myself for having the balls to do it.
Yeah, that's gotta be some
because that
balls.
stuff's hard to sing, but I love that music. So, and then I saw this ad for a Chili Pepper cover band, and they're like, we're the largest Chili Pepper cover band in the world, and we've toured in Asia, we've gone to Europe, they've gone all over the world.
And what was it called?
The Red Knot Chili Peppers. So I went to their website. I went to the videos. So now they're a Chili Pepper tribute band. So this is a little bit different.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That is weird that there's like these levels of it.
Yeah,
for sure.
maybe your listeners are unaware. You have the cover band.
Yes.
And then you have the tribute band. The tribute band is more intense and they try to create a more authentic experience.
Yes.
They often will dress and try to look like the band members as well.
It's a full-on performance.
They'll even act like, I just saw a U2 tribute band down in Orange County. I want to say a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And the guy that sang,
Looks almost
looked
like
just like Bono.
Yes.
And he was doing Bono's like kind of like Bono does this thing where he would kind of like, he kind of lean, he does,
and he tries to grab everybody's
singing,
phone.
he just kind of hunch over, these kind of movement. He was doing those Bono-isms.
It would have been even better if he grabbed everybody's phone and put his album on it. That's
that would have been truly a Bono-ism. Be like, I didn't ask for this. No, you automatically get it, bitch.
I worked at the Orange County Fair, which is a big, fairs in general are big for tribute bands. I would not be surprised if Red Hot Chili Peppers
probably have played there.
I guarantee they have.
I'm sure they have.
For sure. That U2 one for sure.
Yeah, they often would play at least once a month at the Santa Fe swap meet as well.
Oh, okay.
And they would just go all over the country. They play in Mexico City. They went all over the place.
It's the fair circuit with like any special live events. The kind of thing. It's good. I would imagine it's really consistent work to be in it. For sure.
They made money. Like my Chili Pepper cover band, we're playing like Clancy's Pub in Queens. We're doing like these bars in New York.
You're not getting poo-poo platters.
So we drive up to, no, I'm not getting poo-poo platters. We're going up to Nyack, and it's $150 a guy at the end of the night is what I'm getting.
Yeah.
These guys are making enough money to
probably live okay.
A few of them, this is their only income. They can live off this.
Yeah. And so you were saying that you auditioned for it. You got into the band.
I auditioned for it. They go, yes, because they wanted their singer they were having issues with personally. So they said, we like this. I chose songs that I was already familiar with for the audition, went in there and killed them. And then
not literally. Killed it.
I killed it.
You blew him away.
Yeah, I blew him away. And then they
murdered
said,
him.
We think you could be the guy. Let's do a test show. Let's do a show, and we got a show in San Diego in 2 weeks.
Shit.
Learn these songs. And so then I studied really hard. I hadn't played these songs in probably almost 10 years.
And you had to probably learn what, 30, 40 songs?
So yeah, I knew 40 to 50 songs for the previous band, something like that, 40-ish.
That's insane.
But now since then they've had a new album out, and I had to learn.
Oh yeah, that's true. There's a double-sided album.
Yes,
that you had to get,
so there was new songs I had never done before, and some I had never really heard before because I didn't really. I don't know. I was kind of Chili Peppered out. I wasn't following what they were doing.
Yeah.
Plus, I just love Blood Sugar Sex Magic. I think it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah.
We played that whole album in my other band.
That's, by the way,
we played the entire album.
There's a whole subsection of the tribute band where, like, with especially Beatles, like we only play Magic Mystery Tour and like that era.
Yeah.
Or we only do early Beatles. That's like its own like thing as well.
That's crazy. That's cool. I like that because they have a huge catalog as well. And I don't really want to hear. I want to hear Abbey Road stuff, the White Album. I want to hear that later.
It's like only pitching.
Yeah, the Let It Be Out. I want that later. Those later albums.
I think there's like a practicality level to it of like, less production for the first one. So it's like only a 4-piece, but then like Abbey Road, you got to throw in a fucking cello player or something like that, and like 2 extra guitars.
Yeah.
So therefore, like it's like literally just like probably a pragmatic, but also like for what you're saying.
The songs are longer too, as well when you go later on. Yeah, the early songs are 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 10 seconds, like super. Like I want to hold your hands, like 2 minutes long. It's like super quick.
For Pepper or Red Hot Chili Peppers, I would imagine at least the guitar parts are wickedly different because they could just never get the same guitar player.
No,
multiple albums.
Yeah, that's right. They ran through them. So
you did the gig.
So yeah, I went down, I did the gig, and then I thought it went well. And then sadly they fired me from it. I don't know if I was
after the first gig.
After the first gig, they let me go. One of the reasons why, I guess this was the major reason, the guys said.
You pepper sprayed everybody in the audience. They're like, what the hell?
They're like, what's this?
You have an amazing voice.
This is how we do it, man. Come on, pepper spray for life. I sabotaged the Red Hot Chili Peppers with my memories of pepper spray. Well, here was an issue.
Yeah,
I didn't act enough like Anthony Kiedis. Specifically, I didn't talk like him.
Oh,
meaning I didn't talk with a lisp.
Wow.
And I talked a lot that night because I'm a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, you did.
I was talking in between songs. I was cracking jokes. I was doing crowd work. I was getting everybody. The crowd loved it. I thought, but because I talked so much,
you broke the reality a little bit.
For the band itself, I had ruined the image on some level because I didn't. But I really, honestly, I was never truly informed that I needed to speak like his speaking voice, like I guess got to talk like this or whatever.
I would imagine he's got like
Lisp?
not that noticeable of a lisp.
It's a little bit of a lisp. I'm doing a way over the top, but it's a little bit of a lisp.
Yeah.
It's a tiny bit.
There you go. That's your audition again. You just re-audition. Let him in.
Let me back, guys. I swear I can lisp. I can lisp.
That's bullshit.
Come to the land of the thing, don't time and the thing, don't say the thing. California. Come on. The whole thing is so silly.
It's so silly.
It makes a great story, though. I think it's a really funny story.
That's such a you lost it because of a lisp.
Yeah. Probably not right for me anyways. I don't know.
Yeah, you're a comedian.
I'm a comedian. I mean, can I even be in a really successful tribute band and be, leaving town all the time and going to all these joints?
You could have been opening for your own band.
I could have done that.
Yeah.
I should have figured out a way, Adam. I should have figured out a way.
To me personally, that is the dream because I'm in my wife's band. I play drums and guitar sometimes.
What's the name of your wife's band?
Feathers.
Feathers?
That's her like stage name.
Is this the original band?
Original band.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very impressed.
We're not doing covers though. Maybe we'll bring in the pepper spray thing. Maybe. It sounds pretty cool.
Hey, take it and run.
Definitely pretty metal. I think that's what the audience will be doing. If I spray, they'll be taking it and running. I've been kicked out of a band. I've talked about it very recently. It was my best friend's room, or my best friend was my roommate. He kicked me out of a band, which is probably why I'm with my wife's band. Because if she can't kick me out without a divorce, that'll be cool.
Yeah, it's pretty secure.
It's in the prenup. Don't fucking be.
Yeah.
But it's a tragic thing. It hurts, especially because of the artist thing, which is why it makes sense to do stand up sometimes.
Stand-up's a lot easier to produce, man, because you don't have to rely on getting together with 4 or 5 other people, 3 other people for practices and rehearsals.
Oh my God, you just go up there.
You ain't got to check with someone. Hey, are you guys available July 19th for a gig? Are you available, Scott? What about you, Timmy? You're just like, I'm available. I'll take the gig.
I feel like rappers have a very similar vibe. You know what I mean? Like they could just go and do it themselves.
I mean, unless you're the Wu-Tang Clan, then you got to schedule with like 9 dudes. How do you do that?
Yes.
Well, ODB's dead, but I mean...
When are there going to be rap tribute bands?
See, now, wouldn't you like to see a Wu-Tang rap tribute band? That would be incredible.
New Tang.
New Tang. New Tang. That's perfect. That's really perfect. It so is.
There was this thing online where this guy, he goes, I was at McDonald's with my nephew, and my nephew said, "Oh my gosh, you're going to be famous because your band just got signed to a record label." And the McDonald's person overheard this. They were like, "Wow, you guys got signed? That's really cool." And the guy's like, "Yeah, it is cool. Yeah, we're just trying to do our thing." McDonald's person's like, "Wow, since you're going to be our local hometown famous person, your meal's on us." And mind you, this guy is posting this online, just being like, okay, what McDonald's person would fucking do this, right? Yeah. And so and I can't believe I got free chicken nuggets and they tasted even better. And I can't believe this all because my band, I'm so glad to be in a band that got signed. Cut to another post of his. My band just kicked me out and they really fucked me over. I can't believe they would do this to me. And I'm the one that helped them get signed. I can't believe they would ever do this to me. But that said, a lot of you guys know I'm a rapper. And it's official. I'm going all in on rapping. I'm a rap. So hit me up. I'm going to be producing 3 music videos a week, 2 songs every month. It's like all this shit. And here's the kicker. It's the best part. Cut to another, the band now responds and says, "We did not kick this guy out. He was a temporary drummer because our old drummer had to leave for a little bit for personal reasons.
Uh-huh.
He knew full well this wasn't a full-time gig. So now that the drummer's back, we've kicked him out. He's left the band due to intellectual differences."
Did McDonald's make him give back the nuggets? They took down his picture?
Yeah, probably. It's just the best fucking shit.
Oh my God.
It's so, but that's the craziness of Hollywood. Speaking of craziness of Hollywood, let's get crazy and or wild with a little segment we call Wild Card. All right, so the game is
This is exciting.
Yeah,
this is the hat that you had when you were a child magician.
Yes, yes, it was. How'd you know I was a
every
child
kid
magician?
every kid wants to be a magician. They
Yes.
try it for a little while.
And I was like, oh, I don't want to do this. I just want to talk to people. Okay, so I'm gonna pull a card here, and I'm gonna ask you a question, and you're gonna do the same thing for me. We'll go back and forth.
Very
here,
cool.
Okay.
All right.
Wild card. Here we go. Also, NPR, come at me. I came up with this first. They have a podcast called Wild Card now. It's bullshit. Do you get paid too much for what you do?
No. I get paid too little.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably
way
pretty
too little.
Yeah.
For what I do.
We should be doing more shit.
Yeah, I get paid way too little.
How much did you get paid at that Jade gig? And was it in Poo Poo Platter?
$60 and a meal in a Tom Collins.
Oh, there you go. That's not too bad.
Yeah, not bad.
Not too bad.
Pretty good.
Yeah, get some,
It's
some
all right.
solid stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
We often do shows. Comics will do shows, get paid in drink tickets. I don't know if your audience is aware of that.
Yes.
You get drink tickets. You're like, okay.
You get drink tickets, and then it's, oh, cool. I'm sober, so I guess I'm having juice today.
A guy like you.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
drink tickets are useless.
Yeah,
terrible.
I drink Red Bulls because I still got to poison myself somehow.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Yeah. All right, your turn.
Okay. I like that. Adam,
Mm-hmm.
personal question. Have you
Hit me.
ever
Sure.
fallen asleep
Okay.
during sex?
Have I ever fallen asleep during sex? Yes.
Oh.
I have. And I was drunk as fuck.
And we actually
Bring her in.
And we have her here today. Come on in here, Misty. You beat me to it. And here we have her. How do you fall asleep during sex, man? I've never done that.
I was so fucking
you can
drunk.
say drunk, but
I was so drunk.
But if I'm that drunk, I can't even have sex.
So that's the thing. She was on top, and
Yeah.
I was on bottom. And we were getting into it. And mind you, I was into it. I was like, let's go. Let's do this. But I had a few too many. And the second of fucking, I hit that, like, I was doing all my things. I was like in my 20s. I was very active. I was like a David Lee Roth in the bedroom, if you will. Just going all crazy. But the second my head hit the pillow, it was lights out, dude.
Got it.
Lights out. And I was like, I kind of really like, and she came. And
you were date raped. So.
And that's what I told her, actually. She did not like that.
Yeah, of course not.
She did not like that.
People don't like those jokes.
She's like, no, I did. I was like,
Turns out-
I fell asleep. So like, I don't know what you want me to say. But yeah.
Not sure that was consensual.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's wild, man.
It's pretty crazy. Let me, okay, let's pull another one here. Oh, okay, here we go. Jonesy, personal question here.
Yeah, sure.
Have you ever had sex with someone 10 years older than you or more?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And if you haven't, I suggest it.
Me too. I have as
wonderful.
well. It's a learning experience.
Yeah.
It's like understudying.
Yeah, it's like an understudy.
Yeah, it's understudy. Yeah.
It's like doing an internship.
Yeah, you're apprenticing for eating pussy. That's
It's
what it
wonderful. I like older women very, very much. They,
Yes.
And older women are great to date. I think it's
Yeah.
I do date older women.
What's the biggest age gap?
The biggest age gap was not crazy, probably 12 years,
Oh, okay.
something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, 12, 13 years.
Was this dating or just like a hookup?
That would be hookup, multiple hookups though. I would
Okay.
say.
Yeah.
This woman was had kids and was
Oh, wow.
busy.
A
and
MILF.
couldn't really like
A real MILF.
man. She was great.
How old were you?
Let me see. She was 49.
Oh,
So I was probably like 36 or
36.
something
Nice,
something
dude.
like that.
Nice.
Yeah. It was great.
She had like a dope house, nice car, probably clean.
She owned a house.
That's the kind of benefit of that.
She did. She owned a
She kind of had
house.
her shit together.
Yeah. She had a hot daughter. That's cool. I'm not gonna say I was just looking. I just looked.
And she was of age.
She was of age.
Okay, let's just not. Yeah,
She was of age. She was early 20s.
That's like the beginning of like a Pornhub thing,
Yeah, you
dude.
think, you think you're like, you watch enough porn, you think anything can break out into a threesome at that point. You're like, I think it's gonna go down in this T-Mobile shop.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. We've
like
been
it.
ruined by porn for sure.
And
Family gatherings have been ruined by porn.
I like the intellectual
Stimulation?
connection
Oh, okay,
that you get from a older woman.
Yeah.
Or I would say I could just say like women in their 40s. I like women in their 40s. The intellectual connection you can have. They've
Nice.
lived a life. They're wise.
There's like a little bit of a
You don't really deal with, in my experience. There's not a lot of jealousy going on.
or games
Because they're over that. There's not a lot of games going on.
Yeah.
They're more accepting of your baggage because they also have
Yeah.
baggage. You know, some of them, a lot of them have been married before. Some have kids, and they get it.
Do you think they have shorter fuses or are quicker to like, you're done, like cut you off?
The cutoff I think is equally quick,
Oh, okay.
just for different reasons.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Like
So
they
that
don't-
doesn't go away.
They don't have time for the shit
Right.
because their
standards are different.
busy. They don't have time for the shit.
Yeah.
Whereas a young person will cut you off quick because they have short attention spans and they're always looking for the next best thing.
Yeah, they're not ready to like
Yeah.
work it out.
And a lot of them, they're not ready to work it out. And
Yeah.
oftentimes they don't even want to settle down anyways. They,
Yeah.
they don't even need a steady thing. So like,
Nice.
I don't date girls in their 20s for many reasons. That being one of them. They don't seem to be very serious.
Yeah.
About it. They're just their heads on a swivel. And mine was too when I was in my 20s.
Yeah, totally.
I was like instant gratification.
Yeah.
What's next on the list?
The wandering.
Swipe. The whole it's like generation of swiping is.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
What's next? Something next. I need more stimulation.
the TikTok of
You're fun.
relationships. Yeah.
There's someone out there so much more fun.
Mm-hmm.
And
What's the next one?
What's the next one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
These parties are cool, but I think I could go to better parties with someone cooler or
Whereas
someone else.
the older woman is there to like, it is what it is here, and hey, it could be better, but it's happening right now.
Yeah, I like it. And oftentimes they don't have a lot of free time, so that when you're with them, you get all their attention. They're not on their phone. These are wonderful traits.
I love the idea that you're into older women just specifically so they can pay attention to you more.
That's a big thing, man.
No, that's totally true.
Like,
No,
right?
they have your focus. They are. It's a connection.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about like, hey, I'm trying to fucking connect here.
Right.
You don't have to worry about them like, thinking about it. It's like it's a real connection.
And the phone
Yeah.
is an issue, man.
Oh, true.
You go out with someone, you go out for drinks with someone, and a younger person, I'm just generalizing, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of glancing at the phone, opening up the phone, on the phone, whereas I understand I don't want to change your behavior, but that's really not for me. You know, I don't have a lot of time either. I don't have a lot of nights off, first of all. If I'm meeting you out for drinks, it's the one night a week I have off that I'm not at a comedy club or doing shows.
And they're probably got
Maybe they have all the nights off. I don't know. But for me, that's the one night I have off. I chose to go out to get a drink or two with you. And like,
you want
just...
Yeah, especially because you could have been on stage and all of them paying attention to you.
I could have gotten, some attention. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
But,
maybe if there's a Laker gang behind you or something.
I really ran too. I went too personal with that.
That's great, man. All right, this will be the last one here.
Oh, this is a great grimy question.
Okay.
We can learn a little bit about your morals and ethics, sir.
Okay. Oh God, Jesus Christ.
We might even have to call the cops.
Oh no.
Have you ever dined and dashed?
Oh, I've done it so many times.
I've never done it.
Really?
You've done it?
Oh my gosh, I've done it on drink bills. I remember one time.
You've done it on drink bills?
Yeah, oh yes, at bars, dude. Oh my God,
I've never done that.
Which is arguably the most rewarding because it was a huge bill, and when the bartender is an asshole, it's not like a restaurant. Like I don't think I've ever done it with a restaurant because they are 100% dependent on that money.
I think oftentimes, I worked in a restaurant. If someone ran out, they made the server pay.
Yes, exactly.
So that's the thing. So when you're running out on a server,
yes,
they're having to shell out the $150 or whatever it is.
I feel like,
which is kind of cruel.
Totally. And I feel like with waiters, there's like a limit, kind of like total max limit to how many tables you serve per shift. Whereas I think bartenders, it's, if you hit a good groove, you're serving a shitload of fucking drinks. And it's not like I had 5 tables tonight, I'm going to have $100 at the end. Whatever. But also, in addition, when the bartender is an asshole and not really paying attention to you, and it's just like, well, you never got my card, so, and you haven't been around in like 20 minutes, so I'm going to go.
So they don't, obviously, you do it when they don't have your card.
Yes. Oh,
you
yeah.
cannot.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
You cannot.
I'm probably the reason why they invented that rule. But I wouldn't suggest doing it because obviously, like people's, they need money. But sometimes you got to make these people pay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you were doing it out of a sense of justice.
Yeah.
Not because you're a scumbag and you're like, you walked in there, no money.
Yeah. No, 100. Well, I was poor at the time, so it did make sense. But like, it wasn't even about that. Like, I have worked at a lot of restaurants. I've done a lot of server positions, and I totally understand being nice to a server. But what I do not like is when a server isn't nice to the customer.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you have literally one job, which is to be nice to me and serve me food. If you're not doing that, okay, it's justice time. It's Batman. I'm putting on my cape and we're disappearing into the night. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Do you think this whole automatic tipping culture that we live in is leading to sort of these waitstaff resting on their laurels on some level? Is this language too highfalutin for
No,
listeners?
resting on the laurels. I love that because there is a level of that.
It's like with your lover. If everything's just handed over to you, you don't have to work for it. Eventually, you stop working for it.
Yeah, exactly. When you're married or something like that, you
I guess
work extra harder.
Sure.
I would say, for me, I think tipping the barista who served you, your drink,
that made you the drink,
who made me the drink. Anything more than the spare change from the 20 I gave them or the 10 I gave them is too much. You know what I mean?
I'm the same way with
you know what I mean? Like, I guess I could give you, but like, we need to establish a rule. We need to establish, there needs to be hierarchies of like 20% for a server, boom. Always been that way.
It's got to be.
And 20% has always been the high, right? Like it was 15 and 10% for our parents or whatever. 20% is like, you did a good job. I'm going above you.
Yeah.
The 30%, I'm like, I mean, sometimes they're worth it for sure. I don't know about 40%. That's crazy.
Well, who's doing 40%?
People, that's when you do the automatic thing.
That's
like,
one of the choices.
Goes 20, 30, 40 sometimes.
That's insane.
It's insane.
I do see that. I'm a big fan of the type in your manual amount and then I just write fuck you. I'm just kidding. But I'll do the manual amount. Like if I'm getting a coffee at a joint,
yes,
and then they give me the choices 15, 20, 30. I'll just do manual $1.
Oh, I love that.
I just do manual $1. What did I order the other night? Oh, the other day, like I ordered a pizza at a joint, and you order it on the table. You order it yourself, and all that happens is no one took my order. I ordered it, and it comes to my table.
Yeah. Through a conveyor belt, or does somebody like drop it off?
A person drops it off.
So yeah,
and then they gave you the tip choices, and it's 20%, 25, 30, and I'm like, they never took my order.
Yeah.
I did manual, and it was $2. I put $2. I think what I ordered was $25 or something like that. $20. I put manual $2.
Yeah.
You get $2 for walking here. Well, fuck it. I probably should just give you $1, but $2. You walked it over.
Yeah, that's gas money for coming over.
Sure, but maybe they split the tips with the guy who made my pizza or whatever. I don't know. But I'm like, I'm not doing 20% at that point because you're not really a server.
When you're doing the self checkout, is like no tips, my guy. I'm sorry.
Have you ever had the privilege of visiting a country where they don't accept tips?
Yeah, France.
Yeah.
I think France and Amsterdam don't do tips.
It. Yeah,
it's crazy.
They do that in Japan as well. They'll actually get pissed off at you. I love that. They get pissed off.
Oh,
you
yeah,
try to
they
leave
do
a
get
tip
mad.
and they get fucking,
what the fuck is this? Yeah,
what is that?
Yeah, it is weird. I mean, like, I don't know if I would
How
get
dare
mad.
you?
I don't know if I would get mad. Like, it's extra money. Like,
This
why
is
are we mad?
It's such a bit about you go to a place and you tip. Like you talk about the tipping, and you ever been to a country where they get pissed off when you tip? This is the place.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? What do you think this is, huh?
Oh, no, your charity case? I have a job. But it's like, it's extra money.
What an insult.
Like, that would be mad. That's like getting mad at finding the penny on the street.
You're out the door,
like,
they throw the cash at you.
What the fuck is it? You're like yelling at God. Like, what the fuck is this? I have a job,
You're never allowed back here. Take this cash.
Yeah.
The whole thing's so silly.
Yeah,
But there's places like that. I mean, I think if you're, as an American, if you've never been in one of these places, it's hard to even wrap your head around how what that culture's like. But it does
strange.
exist.
It's really totally disconcerting.
Yeah, it's very weird. And you got to figure it out. I was just traveling in Asia and I was in 4 countries. And you gotta, every time I arrive in a new country,
yeah.
I gotta ask, hey, what's the tipping?
Go to the almanac. Or
What's
something
the
like
tipping?
That. Yeah.
What's the tipping thing here? What is
Yeah.
it? And then some places have, they're never as high as America though.
Yeah.
They don't do 20%. They'll be like 10% here, 10% to the wait staff. It's always 10%. It's like 10% will be it. No one's doing 20 in these other countries, hardly ever. And then it's either that 10% or it's in Asia at least it's either 10% or it's nada.
Oh, see, what I think is interesting. I don't know if you have seen this, but then there's these countries like France or like parts of Mexico and stuff like that that aren't known for tipping, but because they know they're getting American tourists, they put it on the bill. So it's like, well, what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
Like I came here
that's
because
trickery.
it's like it's weird, and it just goes to show like capitalism will always beat out. It always will win because greed is always going to win. Like, what's wrong with more money? You know what I mean? Like, it's like Christianity. You know what I mean? It's just they're just spreading it around as they go along. You know.
At the end of the day, they say to themselves, "Well, we would be foolish to be turning down free money, wouldn't we?"
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, yeah, I guess we would be foolish. Let's put it on here. Let's see what happens.
But speaking of see what happens, let's go to our final segment here, which I'm very excited to do with you.
Oh, I'm excited.
This is a segment I like to call Wild News. Bam, bam. Okay.
Wait, was that the jingle for the wild news?
Bam, bam.
Or you insert that after.
We add it in.
You add it in? I think you should keep that and add it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and then back and forth and then add it again.
Do a Red Hot Chili Peppers version of this. I'm sure you've covered this. There's one story I know you covered.
Okay.
And maybe we can start with this one.
All right.
It is pretty crazy that I actually got from your website today. So this is a type of news you will get from Weird AF right here. School teacher busted for live streaming her upskirt video during class. Speaking of tipping culture,
it's out of Thailand, yes.
this is really fucking crazy.
So today we learned what? That Thailand also doesn't pay their teachers.
Maybe they tip their teachers. They want this one to be happening.
Yeah, we got teachers in America who are on OnlyFans on the side.
That's true.
I've covered several stories about that. And
100%.
They've lost their jobs as well when it was found out.
But then ended up making more money on OnlyFans.
Made more money on OnlyFans, so good for them. I'm happy for them. You know, I want to see them make it in the world.
I literally want to see them make it in the world.
Yeah, I do. I mean, this is another instance, right? She's making some extra money because they probably don't pay in Thailand. Doing it in class though,
that's pretty cringe, pretty gross, pretty weird.
But I mean, how do we know it was that? And maybe she had like a Zoom doc appointment with her coochie doctor, and that was the only time she could do it.
So let's dive in.
So stupid.
It's only time. Listen.
This is, but you got a Zoom meeting with your coochie doc, and then, she's working a job.
Hey, we're all it's a hybrid work style with a little work from home, a little work from in person. Okay, so let's dive in here. The Teachers Council of Thailand has booted an instructor at the Ban Bao Chum Middle School in Lampur province after she was caught taking video up her own skirt and live streaming while teaching class. The teacher in training was streaming her Bingo Live channel, right? Everybody Google that.
Bigo Live. I think
Bigo.
Yeah, it's an
Bigo.
app. Yeah, she was streaming on that app.
Channel, and apparently her followers were pleased with the content as they apparently sent her gifts.
Yeah, gifts that could be turned into cash. Apparently.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's how
that's how
works.
this works, right?
So
tips or whatever you get.
Yeah, that's their
I've
version
never
of
been on one
tipping.
of those apps. Despite having amazing looking feet.
TikTok does that.
TikTok does that as well,
TikTok
right?
is getting pretty horny these days with these live streams. There's this one chick that's like, I'm like, I don't even. Is this legal? Like, it's
that bad?
Yeah, it's like this is what's going on. Like,
if you're wondering if
kids
this
on
is
this
legal,
app. Yeah.
it's probably not.
Yeah,
it's probably not.
There's kids on this app, ladies.
Upskirt? Is she upskirting it?
Like, it just like she'll like move around and be like, wait a second, wait, hold on. Like, it's like I think it's like purposely designed to kind of like the people watching to be like, wait for it to like pop out, kind of like watching the old DVD thing logo bounce on a screen in the waiting screen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're just kind of like, when's it gonna hit the corner? When's it gonna hit the corner? Like, when's there a titty? Where's there a titty?
Yeah.
That's kind of like the way it's designed, it's really weird.
Wow, I haven't seen that. That is weird. That can't be right though.
Yeah, it's not. It's very strange. But this is pretty gross for kids. Streaming the kids. I did like to mention that it did say teacher in training.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't remember that from covering the story until you just reread that. Teacher, because I obviously read that part, but I didn't click at the time. Teacher in training. So she was on a probationary period.
Yeah,
not really hired full time, and
possibly
this kind of that makes this to me. That's a little more foolish,
right? Especially when you're trying to get a job.
Yeah. I mean, like you got to be smart about it. I mean, it's really stupid to do this anyways, but it's just ultra stupid to do it when you're trying to get the gig.
She's not even trying to, and who knows? Maybe that's why she did it. She's not getting paid for the training session.
Maybe she's not getting correct.
She's trying to get her cash in somehow,
and she's still got to get the cash in because the rent's due. And she's like, you know what though? I'll just figure out a way to do it at school. The gymnasium was crowded.
We're definitely giving her way too much credit. Like she purposely being like, I'm naked in front of kids right now. Send me money. You know what I mean?
But it begs the other question: who's the fucking weirdo at the school that's like also on that app that's like, this skirt looks familiar?
Hey, wait a second. That back.
Did I see her in the break room?
Wait a second. We're doing chemistry 101 today. We're talking about biology today. Wait a second.
Yeah, it was biology. You know, that good for her. She was teaching biology to the kids that day. At the same time, teaching biology to the adults.
Yeah, it's a double anatomy class for sure. Okay, so Tiger reports that she had been seen wearing revealing clothes in other videos and had started live streaming videos in the classroom a few times before. Oh wow! So this is like she's
wow. Maybe this was her second or third chance that they've. Maybe she just didn't do the up the skirt at that point. She was just doing some simpler videos.
She had been warned before and is now banned from the profession, says Teachers Council Secretary. Wow.
Hey, we would like you to stop doing those videos where you're talking to the screen. Okay, I won't talk to the screen anymore.
It's just, a different.
It's just going to go right up my skirt. You said no talking.
That's truly fucking crazy and gross, to be honest with you. So here is another story.
Ooh, great.
I don't know if you
Some
covered.
more wild stories.
Japan's Joker vies for governor votes with viral TV spot.
Oh, no, I didn't cover this.
You didn't cover this?
No, this is great.
Oh, I'm so excited for you right now. So check this shit out. This is fucking crazy. Like literally fucking crazy. This man, he is a Japanese man running for governor of Japan and is dressed up like Heath Ledger's Joker.
That's crazy. I just saw a thing where they showed a screenshot of the people running for Tokyo mayor, and one of the guys looked like that.
It must be it.
It could have been him also running for mayor.
I think he's trying to do a lot.
There was another one. There was one dressed as the Joker. There was one that was dressed as the mask from Jim Carrey.
Oh,
it was like this big joke. Like, look at these people running for mayor in Tokyo.
Maybe there's multiple people. Okay, so this is terrifying. This is actually very
his
scary.
Vote for me video.
Yeah, this is his TV spot.
He paid for a TV spot for this.
Yes,
for governor, and this is what he's got.
Like, this is what the Joker would do, right? So we're seeing, for anybody not watching, this man is there's a woman standing behind him for some reason. I don't know what that says in Japanese. She wasn't
aware that he was going to do this,
or it's like a translator. This guy is laughing like a terrible Heath Ledger. He's dressed kind of like the.
Can the audience see the video too?
Yes, they can.
They see what's going on.
Yeah, so they see all this. He's got a weird green
eye contacts on.
Yeah, and so he's on the screen laughing, very much like you would see in a Batman movie.
That woman's doing some strange things too.
And she's like
smelling her hand.
Or is she like the sign language interpreter saying like she's laughing?
Oh, is that what that means in sign language?
I don't know.
Is laughing?
Maybe, I don't know. And he's now rolling on the table, kicking his feet up. She's just bowing and it looks like mocking laughing.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the part where he talks about his policies.
Yeah. I don't know. This guy's got some pretty good ideas. We should be on tables. Right. So now he's standing on the table with a rolling chair. This is not going to go end well for him, especially because he's wearing red high heel shoes. Oh my God, this man is a madman. Oh my God, he's spinning on this thing. Holy shit. Dude, that is, regardless of the bit, That's some balls for sure.
That sure is.
Holy crap.
You got to think, I mean, if this is all him trying to, satire, right?
Yeah.
If he's just trying to show the ridiculousness of public office and centralized government.
Ooh, I love how deep you're thinking about
a
this.
protest. This is kind of brilliant.
I like how deep you are with it. I think this is just like a crazy man who's like trying to.
Well, it's like
do
those
something.
people. What is it called? The spaghetti.
Yeah, the climate activists.
Yeah, the spaghetti monster
yeah.
people. They wear the colander on their head.
Oh, right. Like a.
What do they call those?
They believe in the spaghetti monster.
Yeah,
or the flying spaghetti monster.
The flying spaghetti.
Yeah. Instead of like is
the
God.
Church of the Flying Spaghetti.
Yes.
And then they wear the colander. They're doing this. This is a
satire.
This is a they're just showing a mirror. This is how ridiculous religion really is. Maybe he's doing this with politics. This is how ridiculous.
I could see that.
They're clowns, and so why don't I be?
Look
a
at
joker?
me in this chair. Yeah, this is kind of like a performance art piece.
Sure.
It's kind of like have you seen Birds Aren't Real?
Birds Aren't Real? No, I haven't seen that.
Ooh, this is a good one too. This is some fun shit.
Birds Aren't Real.
Birds Aren't Real. A Gen Z conspiracy theory turns social commentary.
Side of Gen Z in America. Gen Z is full of some amazing men, women, and children that are aiming for change.
Okay, this is a fucking.
That's the founder of Birds Aren't Real.
Yeah, I think so. Founder of Birds is a little teenage boy. I'm assuming talking to news people.
And I think that is, just what our movement's all about.
But it's more than just Gen Z's falling for conspiracy theories. Why?
Oh, Jesus.
I love that he did that. That's amazing.
I saw the cup and I was like, that seemed very purposeful the way he drank that. Holy shit. So this dude just full on choked on water. Oh my God.
I'm so nervous. I'm so sorry.
So they cut to B-roll.
They had to do something, right? They kept him there?
They kept him
Well,
on.
we hope you're okay. Why don't we give you some time to collect yourself? If you need help, let us.
Just the perfect face to spit up your water when they're interviewing you. Don't you want to just spit up everything when a guy like that interviews you?
Oh my God.
That guy hasn't smiled since 2003.
How is he not laughing? He's probably mad that he got like owned
Look at him.
like
Look
that.
at his face. Look at his face.
Oh my God.
He's got something up his ass.
Let me see if I can find like a brief explainer thing. Hold on.
What's up, you guys? Madison Hill for What's Trending here, and let's talk about this Gen Z theory that birds aren't real and that they're spies. This movement was created by 23-year-old Peter McKindo, and he created it back in 2017. And the movement centers on the fact that birds aren't real and that the U.S. government replaced them with spies in order to, keep tabs on the American public. Now, before anyone gets crazy, let me make this clear that this is absolutely a joke.
Yeah, so like it's
it's like that.
Yeah, it's literally the spaghetti monster. Like
I love that.
Yeah. It's really like meant to be like
these, people are like lizard people.
Yes.
Our politicians have been replaced by aliens.
The QAnon.
The QAnon, all that
Yes,
stuff. So
yes.
fun to make fun of. Why not?
Yes.
Why not?
Do you believe in conspiracy? Like any weird conspiracy theories?
No, I don't really have a lot of sympathy for conspiracy theories.
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense.
At all. I think it's an intelligence test.
Yeah.
I think the more conspiracy theories you believe in, the more intelligence tests you're failing. I get a lot of feedback from my listeners, and they'll send me stories, conspiracy stories. They want me to cover these things. They kind of expect me to. That there's podcasts that do UFO conspiracies, ghosts.
Yes. Oh yeah,
Sasquatch,
totally.
Bigfoot, all that stuff.
Which is technically weird. I can see that.
Sure. They do the shit out of that though. That's all they do. Like that there's a place for that. So I don't even I don't even want to touch it.
Yes.
And then the other reason is I think that stuff's cartoonish. I think it's ridiculous.
It's denying the reality which is actually weird.
I think reality is weird enough. Yeah, sure. But I was I had a conversation the other night with a comedian at a comedy club, and I was surprised. He's an older guy, really smart guy, but he's kind of like denying global warming and climate change.
What?
He's sort of in that area. And then I say, so like a chemtrails thing?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, yeah, I mean, there's something to that. And, so then...
I hate when they do that. Or like, when it's like, they're not stark raving mad. Like, it's in nowhere. They're like, yeah, I mean, like, think about it, man. Like, when they're the calm part of crazy.
Sure.
Because what do you do with that?
it's hard to work with. And,
Yeah.
and so, you know, I kind of just did a little bit of my spiel, but it's like, it's hard. You can't really pull people into the boat once they're overboard with that kind of nonsense. It's very, very hard.
Sometimes it's really hard.
But like,
Yeah.
I was sort of just pointing out some natural things that are being done to the earth that as a result of mankind's polluting it and toxifying it.
Totally.
You know, and I didn't even get to the part where I have plastic in my balls, and I didn't need to. I mean, we have plastic in our balls.
We
what do
do.
you think? The plastic in our balls is getting in our balls
Just naturally.
because of we're drinking the water.
Yeah. Where's the water coming from?
So
right.
the plastic's already screwed up the water, and it's screwing up. Our balls are a symptom of what is already being done. You don't have to go too far. A lot of these conspiracy theories, you know, they don't obey the principle of Occam's razor, which is
The
very
simplest-
important when you want to apply things to theories like that. Occam's razor, if your listeners don't know, the simplest explanation is preferred. And
Yes.
you don't need to go XYZ. If you can figure it out, if it's just, it could be B or C. You don't got to go to Z. You don't got to go to T, X, Y. And a lot of these conspiracies, you don't have to go there. The chemtrails is a perfect example. It's a perfect example that you have to add on all of these other things when you can just explain it by burning oil, cars, polluting, toxifying. We see every day when we walk around how we're polluting and toxifying the planet.
Yeah.
Walk to Santa Monica Beach right now in the pier and just look around.
It's
you can
all
see
over there.
It's right there. I don't have to look up into a sky. I don't have to look up into a sky, see a plane spewing out things that I don't really know what that is anyways. So I have to assume that plane is spewing out whatever that is. It's adding to the disrupting the planet.
Right.
This and that. And then I got to add on more though. It doesn't end there. I got to add on the people that are doing it are keeping it secret. The airlines that are involved in it are keeping it secret. There's people up above that have decided to pour money into this because it benefits them either for a power trip or commercially. There's all these
power for
so
them,
instead of going B, C, which you can easily do if you just look on
Draw
the ground.
the line, yeah.
They're going W, X, Y as explanations way up there. All of these hoops have to be jumped through to make that conspiracy make any sense whatsoever. And you don't have to, first of all, that's hard to do. It's hard to even construct a complex conspiracy because people cannot keep secrets. Nobody can keep a secret.
No,
the amount of people that would have to keep a secret for the chemtrails thing is an extraordinary amount of people.
Yeah.
Pilots,
There's
owners
not
of
enough blackmail in the world to keep all that
people
shit.
cannot keep a secret, man.
Yeah,
People cannot. So
Yeah.
you have to add that to every conspiracy. You have to add that equation, that human nature. And if you know human nature, you know humans can't keep secrets.
Yeah.
So I don't have any sympathy for the whole, the crash at Roswell and they got bodies. I don't buy any of that stuff.
Well, that shit's real.
I think that's the one that's real.
That's the one that's real.
Anyways,
your conspiracy theory
I'm
is
such a downer when it comes to conspiracy.
No, your
you
conspiracy
probably have
theory-
some listeners that are like, I love conspiracies. Why are you shitting on them, Jonesy?
No, I mean, if you're watching the show and you believe in conspiracy theories, what are you doing here? But your conspiracy theory is that there are no conspiracy theories.
I suppose.
Yeah.
What I like to be. Conspiracies are fun. If you want to play some mental games, then it's fun to talk about and consider.
I wish
imagination.
I had that. I wish I could do that.
We could use a few.
I started doing a conspiracy theory about Biden. Can I tell you one real quick?
Yeah,
and
sure.
I realized I was like going QAnon a little bit with Biden. And I was like, no, it's not true. He's just an old man. My conspiracy theory was that, okay, so this dude, he decided, he knows he's old, right? He's old as fuck. He had a terrible fucking debate, right? He pitched June 27th as the debate time. It was not scheduled. They usually have him a lot later on election years. They wanted to do him earlier. Why? If everybody around him knew he was older, why would they do that? Well, if you look at the numbers after this debate now, people are more engaged and his donations are huge now.
Oh.
But not on the donations part is big, but how much of the conversation is happening right now because of that, about how important this election is. He galvanized the entire Democratic Party over in one shitty debate. Now, Grant, and that's the thing. It's like, he's a genius. It's all part of Dark Brand, and he's doing all this shit. I'm like, wait, hold on. he's just an old fucker that doesn't want to let go of power, just like every other fucking old fucker on the. But I had to be, but I was like, oh man, I wish I was QAnon like that. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't even classify that as conspiracy so much as I would say that's just a tactical political move. Wouldn't you say?
Well, no,
conspiracy would
I could see that being like QAnon level of like Trump, he did this because, like it's all about part of that. And it's all like, I'm making excuses and drawing connections that probably are better than what QAnon is doing, to be honest, because I do have facts behind it. But the Occam's razor part of it really is he's an old man and he was old 4 years ago. And the way time works, I don't know if you know this, Jonesy, but people get older over time and they get worse.
They do.
Especially in their 80s.
Especially a guy who doesn't get much sleep at that age. He needs sleep.
Yeah, and with a very stressful job. Yeah.
Conspiracy theories, I think, another way to put it, this is kind of a take that I've never expressed before, but I think there's something to it. I think you owe it to society to not carry around conspiracies.
Oh.
Because at the end of the day, you have to interact socially with other people. And it's not okay to be out there just saying
wild shit.
It's like
out of pocket shit.
It's like deodorant. Like you owe it to us to be put on deodorant before you leave the house. You also owe it to us not to believe that Hillary Clinton's a lizard robot.
You owe that to me. Like hey, we're about to do a kissing scene in a movie right now. You owe it to me to brush your teeth and not talk about how Biden is a pedophile.
Right. I think so.
That's great, dude.
I don't know.
I love that.
I don't know, but I think that's a bit.
I love that.
That might be a little bite-sized moment. Among many, we're having a lot of we're having a lot of great moments in this podcast.
Speaking of bite-size, we just only bit a small portion of how amazing you are at the Weird News today. We've had a goddamn blast today. So thank you so much, Jonesy.
Oh, I had an amazing time. This was so much fun. So much fun.
Yeah, this has been just a goddamn delight. Is there anything you would like to plug before we head out?
I would only say if you guys enjoy my takes and personality, then you probably like the podcast because this is kind of like what I do on the show.
Yeah,
I give my opinion.
Show.
I give my takes
every day
about weird show. I do it 5 days a week, and it's called Weird AF News. And it's the only daily weird news podcast in town. It's the only game in town. And it's on all podcast players and YouTube as well. And then my Instagram's Funny Jones, at Funny Jones, if you want to see some of my stand-up.
Yeah, he's posting great stand-up clips. Everybody should go check that out.
Yeah, I post a lot of stand-up clips. Yeah. Tons and tons. I'm very busy with that. It's not getting me anywhere, but like I do it.
Are you going on the road anytime
I
soon?
go to, let's see, I go to San Francisco the first 10 days of September. And then I'm in Dallas the middle of October.
Heck yeah.
But these are the only places that I go far. Otherwise, I got shows in Southern California all the time.
Heck yeah.
I'm just I drive all over the place.
Wonderful.
To do shows down here.
Dude, well, this has been a goddamn delight. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Appreciate it.
Before we go, please like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you are listening, just share it with a friend. Let people know how fucking wild we get. And let people, share this with your conspiracy theory friend and see how that goes. And report back to us because I want to know. And let us know if you have any conspiracy theories. Write them on the comments there. You can follow me at Adam R. Mack, and you can follow this podcast at That Was Wild Pod on all the social medias. Jonesy, we are going to end the show like we always do. We're going to look down the barrel of that camera and say, "That was wild." You ready?
Yep.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
That was wild!
It's time to get wild.